Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I hope you had a good Christmas and a new year. I've had a nice break from eBay. I have probably not listed for anything that much for sort of over 10 days. And of course, that has had an effect on my sales. They have gone right down. I think Christmas Day, I didn't sell anything, which is not unusual. But I do know some people who sold a lot of stuff. I know one guy who sold over 20 things, I think. So it all depends. Boxing Day didn't sell anything, and the last couple of days, I've sold around about £20 worth of stuff each. So obviously that can't continue, but I have had a nice break from it. I haven't had to worry about packing or anything. Um, and I also got a negative, so I'm going to talk to you about that and how I deal with it and various ways of dealing with it. So in regard to sales, yeah, they're down and need to get up, get running again. So obviously the major thing to do is list. But the first thing I did on my store was, and it's a thing I've been doing, I'm on a middle shop, and with my middle shop I get 1,500 free listings. Now, I am never going to source 50 things a day, new things, to fill up those, listings full of new items. So, what I have been doing recently is every week, I try and list my maybe 10 new items a day, it might be more, try and get to, 100, £150 consistently. Now, if at the end of the week, so let's say there's 4 weeks in a month, so that would work out. Oh, I'm doing these figures in my head, but it's around 350 to 400 listings you should be doing. Now, if at the end of the week, I've only done, say, 200, and from my quota in my shop, I could have another 100. That's when I've been ending old items, so I sort things by date and doing the sell similar. So yesterday I had a lot of items I could use, so I relisted my whole store on sell similar, and then I ended my promotions and set them up again. And my promotions are generally stuff that has been listed in the last sort of 6 months is on a 1% promotion, and really old stuff is on the suggested, but I cap it at 5%. So that's how I go about doing things. And this morning, with all those new items sitting there, I had 30 watches, which I kind of think have come in, since I did the sold similar. So I sent offers out on those. Oh, got an achy arm. I've sent offers out on those items to see what comes back, and again, bigger discounts for stuff that's been hanging around for a long time. So yes, that's what I've been doing, and I will get back on it with listing. Try and get into a groove. If I'm really in a groove, I will do my quota for the day and then set things up on either on drafts or on scheduled listings, so I can fill up the next following days easily. I want to get to the point where I've filled up 30 days in advance. I don't quite know how I'm going to do that with the stock I've got. I'm kind of scrabbling around as it is at this time of year when you're not sourcing every week. But yeah, I've got a few bits and bobs which I can put on. I've been putting like you know, lemony snicket books where I haven't got the complete set. Have just been sitting around, so I've just stuck those on at like £2 each just to sort of clear stuff. And I've got a few other bits and bobs that are going on. So I've got to do all that. The negative, right? It was on a PSP, and I got it yesterday. So yesterday was the was it 27th or 28th? I've lost track of my days. I even lost track of my days so much that I thought it's Tuesday today. I thought it was Monday. So I've gone on Miss List 5 Live. I may well do one in the week sometime. So I hope loads of people didn't turn up, or maybe like 3 people turn up. So yeah, I've been sort of like, what was I talking about? Well, I've been getting out books and stuff. My negative. Okay, it was on an item that was bought on the 6th of November, so quite a while ago. And okay, there's a variety of options you can do. A lot of people are members of the Facebook Messenger for eBay for Business. Now, I'm not a member of that, or not in that, but I have kind of like had a quick look at it. So you can try that. I think the thing to do is assess how successful you're likely to be, and you have to be honest with yourself. Now, if it's something like, I don't know, item wasn't a size 8, and you sent it and it was a size 8, and you've got a negative for that, or if it was, something that obviously isn't true and can be proved not to be true, then you've probably got a good chance of going through the eBay process and getting it changed. Also, if the negative feedback contains a swear word, that'll go in your favour, because they're not allowed to contain profanities. So, something like that should get taken out straight away. Now, mine was tricky. It was a PSP. It was a pink PSP. Again, it was, bought a while ago. So, and the feedback came totally out of the blue. There was no communication between me and the buyer. And it just said, item received was very dirty, which it wasn't. Don't tend to send out dirty items. And the photos, show that it's clean. And the power kept cutting out. So that's a tricky one. I kind of looked at that and thought, I think eBay are going to look at this as just buyer opinion. I spoke to another reseller. I spoke to Derek Tap Peddler, and he said that I think it's going to come, they're going to sort of side with the buyer in terms of buyer opinion. And it's kind of like not a good idea to escalate something to them and then have it found not in your favour. That's kind of like even worse as a black mark goes. So I did what I usually do, and some people sort of think I'm crazy doing this, but I rang the buyer, not to have a go at them, not to be at all in a bad mood with them, but just to be helpful to them. And sometimes you can't get through to them because they, but the number's always on the order if under buyer information, if you want to find it in there. And I had a very reasonable conversation with the buyer, sort of saying, "Oh, what was the problem?" Let her talk really, and just was very understanding. And I said, "Well, you can obviously send it back." And she told me that her daughter had said, "Oh, so why don't you go to CEX and see if they can do anything with it?" And I said, "Well, you don't want to do that. If it doesn't work, you just send it back, and I'll give you a refund." And I talked about all of that, for probably a good 5 minutes. And then right at the end, I just said, "Now, obviously you have left negative feedback. Would you be kind enough to consider changing it? I am a small store, and it really does, affect my business when people look at it. I'll do everything I can to help you." So really, really, that kind of bending over backwards for them to get them to change it. And if you've had a good conversation with them about sorting them out in terms of the return and in terms of the refund, I've always managed to get them changed. Now, touch wood on this one. I sent her the revision form off yesterday, and she hasn't changed it yet. So I'm kind of like thinking, how long do I leave it for? Or give her another ring, and I might ring her today because it's kind of like the last bank holiday. She might be at work tomorrow. Probably this afternoon, I might just drop her a bell saying, "Oh, I can't do anything about it. I want to help you with the return, but I can't do anything about it." And there's a time limit. It's a time limit on revision of feedback. If she doesn't look at it in 10 days, it just gets closed off. So fingers crossed on that one. But again, the thing with feedback, that's one negative feedback. So I'm down to like 99.8% or something. And I don't think it has, obviously it affects you because nobody likes getting those negative feedbacks. But in terms of your metrics, probably the most important things, and things that can affect your final value fee, if you really bodge up on metrics, is your late deliveries and the returns you get as item not described. So I said this before in another video that, really, if you get an IR, and you don't think it's an INR, you think it's like an item is broken, you want to get that changed, because it will affect your metrics. So anyway, hope that's all helped. Also, I've got news regarding the channel, and I think it might be, well, it is going to be a bit of an end of an era, because this possibly could be the last video I do as the vinegar jar. I'm working. I haven't finished it yet, so this is why I'm a bit hesitant. But I've been sort of working on a new name and a bit of a new jazz up for the new year. So I do apologise for everyone who's really into vinegar and really into jars, and because you had the two there, the vinegar jar. But yeah, I think it has been a little bit like obscure in terms of people trying to get into reselling, that they should look up a channel called the Vinegar Jar. But it's been quite fun. I've quite enjoyed being called that. So that's in the new year. I'm not going to be called like something totally what you'd expect. It's maybe a little bit different, but we'll get all that done and get it on, and you'll see what that is in the new year, and hopefully you'll like it. But as for now, that's it. Thank you for your continued support, and I hope you have a cracking new year. If I don't see you, if I don't manage to get out another video today, I'm just like I say, I'm just listing, carrying on keeping tidying, and keeping busy. So I hope you all keep busy too, and I will see you in the new year. Take it easy.